putting a memoir out in the world, the thought of this can be really scary. What are people going to think? What about all those horrible decisions I made? More on this coming up. My name is Wendy Dale. I spent 15 years analyzing over 1,000 texts to figure out the principles that all memoirs have in common. The result is the memoir engineering system. I work with a lot of people who are writing their memoirs. Now, most of them are struggling with plot. How do I take these true stories from my life and turn them into a book that someone else wants to read? How do I take these true events and make them into a good story? But today I want to talk about something a little different. Today I want to talk about the emotional aspect of putting this work out into the world. So one of the biggest questions that my clients ask me is, Wendy, what are people going to think? I have written down all of the stuff that I lived through. I made all of these bad decisions. I am not a perfect person. What are people going to think about me? Well, the first thing I want you to consider is that we don't like perfect people. Think about all those perfect people on Instagram and how much they get trolled. People are always looking for an excuse to take perfect people down. So many years back, I had this client. She had been a model. She was absolutely gorgeous. She had a master's degree. She was married to a man who was not only an oncologist, he was also a lawyer. She grew up in one of the wealthiest families in town. Do you hate her yet? I mean, I didn't hate her, but I had nothing in common. I was scared of her, to be honest with you. I was so imperfect. I was a little scared every time I had a call with her. Now, as I got to know her a little bit better, I started to see the cracks. It was the day that she said to me, well, you know, I have this horrible relationship with my mother, that I actually felt like I had something in common with her. So the first thing I want you to remember is that we don't like perfect people. We're intimidated by perfect people. We don't want to hang around perfect people. We want to hang around people who are real because we see ourselves in real people. So what actually makes us like someone is an interesting question. If you've read the book Save the Cat, it's one of the most famous books on screenwriting. I like to disagree with a lot of gurus out there, and one of the things I really disagree with is the idea of saving the cat. So if you don't know what this refers to, Save the Cat is the idea that when you're writing a screenplay, your audience needs to like the protagonist. And one way to do this, the easiest way to do this, is to have a scene in which your protagonist goes and saves someone's cat. I don't know, cat in a tree, save a cat from getting running over. I don't think Blake Snyder gets into specifics there. But the idea is that we like good people. Well, I disagree with that. Actually, every time I see a screenwriter do this in a movie, it kind of annoys me because I feel like it's not really truthful. I feel like it's a cheap way to try to get me to side with the protagonist. What actually makes us like people? I think that we like people who struggle. I think we like people who've been through a lot. And most memoirs are a chronicle of what you've been through, what you've had to overcome. So you're actually in really good shape for people to relate to you, to like you. You don't have to be perfect for people to like you. Have you ever seen the series Dexter? So Dexter wants to make the world a better place, but he has all of these problems. He wants to make it work with his girlfriend. He has problems with his annoying coworker. Oh, and he kills people. He's a serial killer, and you still root for him. Believe me, if we can root for Dexter, we can root for you. If you'd like a free 7-part class on how to structure your memoir, be sure to check out the link in the description. Another thing I want you to keep in mind, the things that you are reluctant to share with the world are often the very things that make us like you. I was recently shooting the reality show Write or Flight. That's going to be coming out next year, the world's first reality show for writers. In one of the scenes, we took all of the contestants for group therapy. Now, why did I want to do this? Well, it wasn't really group therapy. They were asked questions about their childhood and they could volunteer if they wanted to speak. What happened was that people started opening up and telling us about their childhood. A lot of people were crying as they were doing this. After it was over, I stepped in and I said, okay, Look at the person next to you. How do you feel about them right now? Are you judging them? Do you think they're a horrible person? Are you thinking, wow, I'm so much better than them? No, I bet you feel really close to them right now. And the truth is that when you let people know who you really are and what you've been through, and when you let people see your pain, we like you. We relate to you. We see ourselves in you. We trust you. So one of the great things about memoir writing is that it's actually a lot easier to write about difficult things than it is to say them out loud. I wrote about a lot of things in my memoir that I don't usually tell people. I was homeless as a kid. I was actually homeless twice. I was homeless as a kid. I was homeless when I was at UCLA, when I was 19 years old and lived in my car. I lived in a trailer for a while growing up. I got free lunch at school. I got lice as a kid. My mom was so embarrassed that she refused to buy the lice medicine. I think it's called Nit, that you buy at the drugstore. She bought dog shampoo instead because she thought, well, if it gets rid of fleas, it must get rid of lice. So when we got lice, we had to wash our hair with dog shampoo. I don't tell people this, I'm telling you this now. But it was a lot easier to write about these things in my book than it was to tell people. So there is an incredible thing about writing a memoir, that it allows you to expose yourself in a way that feels safer than it would when talking to another person. Ever get lice? Me too. The thing I want you to keep in mind is that what you're afraid to talk about may be the very reason you are writing your book. So many people decide to write their memoir because they have a message they want to share. They want to help others who've been through the very same circumstances. What you're afraid of having others know about you is actually what helps others heal. I work with writers who have lived through abuse and illness and poverty and grief. That's what it means to be human. Put your humanness on the page. It will only make us love you. It will make us relate to you. It will make us grateful to know you. Art is about making sense of pain. You know, your memoir isn't really about you. It's a gift you're giving to your reader. This is something I tell my clients over and over again. You are taking the true events from your life and turning them into art. You are giving them to your reader. And your reader is seeking out signs that they can trust you, that they are like you, that you are like them. We're all going through the same crap here. As a memoir writing teacher for 17 years, I've come to understand that we more or less are living out the same story. So one of my favorite quotes is, "To know all is to forgive all." I think it was said by the philosopher Spinoza. So people in your family might judge you. They might judge you for who you are and the life you lead and the decisions you have made. But if they truly understood why, they actually would understand. That's why I love this quote. I think we're so quick to judge others, but the reality is to know all is to forgive everything. So there's a certain magic in writing a memoir, and it gives you this ability to help others understand why you made the decisions you made. And it's called subjective writing. A huge part of memoir writing is not just what you lived through, what you saw, what you did, but rather what you thought at the time. That is what subjective writing is. It's the thoughts that went through your head. And this is a key part of helping your reader relate to you, helping your reader like you, helping your reader love your book. Subjective writing actually transports your reader and makes them feel like they're living through the story with you. So if you want to learn more about subjective writing, watch this video here. I'll teach you more about what it is, how it works in your book, and how to make sure your reader is having an emotional experience. Remember, it's your story. You decide how it all turns out.